What's up? What's up? It's your girl Mickey Truth, and I'm here, man. I had to do a content video, but I said, you know what? I'm just about to go live, do it all in one whoop, instead of having to do all this editing and stuff. So, gonna be raw and uncut, but we not gonna waste no time today. We're gonna get straight into it. But first, we gotta kick it off right.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Hookah Anonymous, and you are now rocking with Mickey Truth. She live up to her name, not the fame. So make sure y'all subscribe to her channel and stay updated on what's real. Bye.
Coming from where I come from, they doubted me, but I came up. I made it through the storm, trying to conquer the world. I made it through the storm, trying to conquer the world. Coming from where I come from, they doubted me, but I came up. I made it through the storm, trying to conquer the world. I made it through the storm, trying to conquer the world.
Good reporting ass Mickey.
We love you, Mickey.
And we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna get straight into what we here for. But as always, all information contained in this video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. All information used in this video is per the Fair Use Act, and any conclusion that you draw is on you, not me. Now, y'all already know. Everybody love hitting me up when it's something released or said about Wack100, especially anytime it comes to paperwork. They're like, bet you ain't gonna look into that. I bet this. You select the politic and you this, you that, right? And I'm like, yo, just send the link that you're talking about. Because, like, half the time I don't even be knowing or keeping up with what paperwork is supposed to be out. Nevertheless, someone sent me the link. I checked out the video and I was like, okay, interesting. And shout out to Lil Kev's Truth Movement, because he's one of the first YouTubers, right, when I first started, to actually shout me out on YouTube and tag me. And that's when I realized you can tag people, right? When we were working on the takeout case. So definitely shout out to him. But nevertheless, y'all know I don't select the politic. I react and I see what I can find. So we're gonna listen to a little bit of audio real quick, and then we're gonna get into it. Because I will say this, I will put the link in the video, but yo, Lil Kim kind of is like a conspiracy theorist, okay? And I was like, oh no, 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 I can't play that because y'all know I don't go down that rabbit hole. But shout out to him, okay? So let me get the audio because I actually just got the pieces I needed. Um, for what I wanted to talk about, because I'm just gonna stick straight to. He went a little bit over yonder. I'm gonna stick straight to the allegation that was made. And hold on, let me see what part this is. I think this is it.
You got people going into like your whole family history.
You know, he had some things to say about it. We're gonna skip that part.
Terry value. Yep, that's right. Remember the late 80s and 90s?
Hold on.
These niggas, you know what I'm saying? You the D sucker, like nigga, y'all know who Cuz is, nigga. Nigga Cuz been sliding through this motherfucker, nigga. He ain't no gangbanger, so nigga, you're talking about some shit that don't even matter, nigga. You're a snitch. You must know that. You snitched on everybody. I mean, you snitched on the mainstream, snitched on Del Dog and them, Cuz. Ooh, yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. When bro, trying to look and see. Is that right? Yeah, when bro brought up Del Dog's name, I was like, yes, let's go. That's how I knew. So I'm gonna try to make a long story short and compact this into like 20 seconds.
All right, that's the first part, and then here on the next part.
Nigga, you stuck your head in the put that on your neighborhood. Nigga, you stuck your head on your neighborhood. You couldn't handle it when it got hot. Hey, put that on your neighborhood. The paperwork. I think all the Crips know who did that. Open up the paperwork. No, we know Balls know who did that. It's a snitch. Okay, so here's a little visual for everybody. So all the way on the whatever that.
All right, so again, shout out to Lil Kel's Truth Movement. This is my reaction to the paperwork that he put in it. As y'all can see on the screen, this is part of a document I'm believing so, right? and it's supposed to show that Wack100 did indeed snitch, right? And then it's supposed to show like it's supposed to align with what Bricc Baby said on Clubhouse. So let's see if we can follow that trail. I'm just gonna tell y'all straight up. Well, hold on. Little side note. Didn't dude kind of sound like Blue Da Vinci in a way? Like I almost thought that was Blue Da Vinci talking. But anyway, I'm gonna tell y'all this. So in that video that Lil Kev Truth Movement posted, he mentioned that this is supposed to be like a federal transcript. Definitely not a federal transcript. It's I'm not even going down that rabbit hole. It's definitely not a federal transcript. However, what it does look like is possibly like maybe a breakdown of a phone call, possibly, you know. I've never saw one to say that's what it looked like, but based off of, you know, because I found the actual some other pieces to this, but anyway, that's what it looks like. Okay, now in Lil Kel's video, he tried to connect the dude Stutterbox to Wack's wife. Yeah, I don't know about it, but I'm just gonna stick straight to the paperwork. Like I said, this is definitely not a transcript from no hearing or nothing like that, but it could be like a breakdown of a phone call. Now, in this actual video, it says here, and as you can see on the screen, it says CS2 is back. Y'all heard me, back. BACK. Okay. Then along another piece of the document, it says Wack Boy. So everyone, and I say everyone, meaning Lil Kev and I guess allegedly Bricc Baby, since that's the one who put it on the stage, is saying Wack Boy is a reference to Wack100. So, you know, that's what we're going with. Now, like I said, I did a lot of the research already behind the scenes. I'm not gonna spend too much time on the breakdown. So if you're like, dang, how you know that? Just know I already did some of the footwork. Okay. So let me show you the link that someone sent me with more of those documents. And make sure y'all like, comment, share, all that good stuff. Like I said, can't stay on, that's fine. Kitchen on the flip side, I just rather go live than editing a video. So this website here is where those screenshots are. And if you read into it, this was from August 31st, 2022. It talks about someone stating that the CEO of this platform was an informant. That's why they're putting these pages out. It says here, back is confidential source number 2. As y'all can see on Pyru, they're referencing Wack100. These are the questions that they're saying will expose Wack100 as a fraud. It say you said Stutterbox told on you. He says you were on wiretap conspiring to murder. 2, you admit that feds raided your spot and you met with them people on the 64th floor. What did you tell them? 3, you tried to contact Dale Dog telling the main streets that Stutterbox went bad. You only know he was bad because he put them onto you. Feds only come with reliable source, so what they really book you for. Then it says Dale Dog didn't trust you with his number because you were neighbors with and close to Stutterbox. Only way you knew Stutterbox was ratting and the phones were tapped was if you were working. Dale Dog, bless his soul, was sharp. He knew that you were trying to take him down, Wack Boy. Those are the allegations, okay? So if you go down, this is that same form, well, part of the form we saw. Couple key things I want to point out. Like I said, these are definitely not court transcripts. If anything, maybe it's the breakdown of a phone call since they're talking about wiretaps. Okay, possibly. I don't know yet. So, of course, keep in mind the date, August 5th, 2008. It says Dale, right? Stevens. You know, that's how they reference this person. That's Dale. Okay. Now, one of the people that's involved is AKA Dale Dog. So, allegedly, you would think Dale is for Dale Dog. Okay. Just keep that in mind. Then you see how it says CS2 back. Once that. Okay. Now, like I said, I don't know if this is a breakdown of a wiretap, right? But the reason why I say it's definitely not a court transcript because they would never refer to any type of nickname with any confidential source facts. Okay. The only cases I ever saw where a name was attached to a confidential source is if it's the defendant saying that's who they want. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, in the Terry White case, the reason why we know Tammy Cohen's is the confidential source in that case because his legal team put it into a document. That's the only reason, right? If you look into the Cuff case with Tammy Cohen's, her name is not listed nowhere. The one time her name is listed was from the defense, and they eventually sealed that record. You know what I'm saying? So they would have never referenced a CS2 like that in a transcript. Now, like I said, this is a possible phone breakdown. I don't know. Now, it says here, Dell talks about Box incident and Bat wanted to talk. Okay, so I guess this is whoever JW is, you know, giving their summary, right, of the call. So then it goes on to say, so I guess DD is Del Dog, MS is Mark Stevens. Yes, I already looked into it. Y'all will figure out who some of these people are in a minute. Just giving breakdown on paperwork. Now again, you can tell this is sent by somebody's phone because we see that. This is the same document. Now I will point out, if we go back, this is supposed to be a 7 minute and 1 second situation, right? Why is it only one paper? That's the question, right? Why is it only one paper? Now, if we go back here, they definitely blacked out some stuff right there. That looks different than that, for sure, right? Yeah. Don't know what they. So I'm gonna say this: if this is indeed part of some paperwork, they definitely know who CS3 is, and they don't want nobody else to know because that's why it's blacked out. So you can see it's still words, but it's blacked out. But nevertheless, they're referring that CS2 is Wack100, right? And it says like he's CS2 is able to provide limited information regarding violent assaults committed by MSMC, which is Main Street Mafia Crips. I kind of thought it was odd that someone who claimed Pyru knew information on Crips, but again, I'm not gang affiliated. Maybe it's some stuff I don't know about. Yeah, so it goes into more details. Like I said, this has a page number 53. The other one was 54. But if you go to this first thing, that has no page number, so it's kind of out of. It's like bits and pieces. I don't know why people drop paperwork with bits and pieces. Yeah, this is the same document. And then as y'all can see right there, say then helping the whack boy in a minute. Like I don't know why that stands out to people to say that's Wack100. I don't know. That's their thing, but yeah, that's what they got here. All right, so basically, what this situation stems from, if y'all not aware, is everybody knows Tupac and Biggie Smalls, right? If you don't know, you probably not heard of the reference. Okay, it's a detective by the name of what is his actual name? Give me a second. Greg Kading. Okay, that's his name, Greg Kading. Okay, you might be wondering what the world Tupac and Biggie got to do with what's going on. Well, I'm about to tell you. Okay, um, hold on. Let me find my place back on this page first. All right. So the importance of this is Greg Kading, right, was the investigator or the detective on the Biggie Smalls case murder, the Tupac Shakur murder. You probably heard him in interviews, all types of stuff like that. One place you might remember hearing him is on Clubhouse because he actually came onto Clubhouse and talked to Wack100 in regards to guess what? These same allegations that was just dropped by Lil Kel's video. So I found it on YouTube from a couple months back. Well, not a couple. It was like what 8 months ago. So I'm gonna play some of that real quick, and then we're gonna get into it because that's gonna steer us where we need to go. Um, so I'm gonna use. Yeah, I'm gonna use Illuminati Gang because it looks like they're trying to grow their own channel, so I'm gonna use theirs. So hold on.
Amen.
No Deuce M's. We got any representative of Deuce M's down there?
Let me check the Google one more time.
Oh no, that sounds trash. Hold on.
I tell you what.
That mouth. Hold on. That sounds trash. Hold on. All right, let me try to share it again. That sounded horrible. Let's see.
T's always a great neutral guy. Bring T. Is T down there? You see T down there?
Why does it sound like that? Ugh. Okay, hold on. That was. Does it sound sketchy to y'all? I don't know why it sounds like that. Here we go. I'll play it like this.
You watch Netflix on?
I don't think that truck driver look like me, man. That truck driver dude, he don't look.
Yeah. Oh man, I had nothing to do with the casting of it, Cash. If I'd had something to do with casting, I would just called you. Yeah, you love the guy that played you, though. Y'all at least gave Case Lace a promo and put Straight Stud magazines back there. Oh yeah, I guess.
Hold on. It started where I was listening earlier.
In this case, how did Cash Jones, Wack100, how did I get involved or implemented in this case with Stutterbox?
Okay. So it all started when there was an FBI agent who told us that he had an informant that could potentially give us some information about Suge Knight that may help us further our investigation into the murders of Tupac and Biggie. That's where it all started. And so we went and met with this informant, and it turned out to be Box. And we sat down. It's like on Melrose or Santa Monica.
Not somebody talking about my balls.
We sat down at a Starbucks and
Y'all be funny.
Started chopping up, and he gave us this information that led to you. And so we didn't know
information
real.
What the hell was the information that led to me?
Well, the information was that if we looked into you, we might find some things out that would help us maybe get some leverage on Suge. So it was just like that. So we're like, all right, we didn't know any better. We're like, well.
Hold on, I'm seeing comments. Hold up. Let's see. Did you speak to him? I'm assuming you saying Wack do too many plays to believe this can be anyone. I mean, if y'all let me get through it, we got to listen to the allegations though. But no, I didn't speak to anyone. I'm going off the video that was sent to me, and then somebody else just said something. Hold up. This person was the one I was referring to earlier. Was reliable. It says, hold on, and was and is Greg Keatings was a confidential informant. I don't even know what makes sense of that. Nevertheless, all right, y'all. So for one, the information, and y'all go look at this video because shout out to Illuminati gang that had this up 8 months ago. One thing about YouTube, cases are recycled. Shout out to Skodo, because he always told me if you bring up an old case, make sure you have some new info or someone to actually talk to. But since a lot of y'all kind of want to be like, oh, it's a play, let me just get into it. So if y'all just listen to that audio, the guy that's the detective or was the detective, he actually calls out his book, and this is where we are. So he has a book. If you go, I got the free version of it. I ain't gonna lie, but the untold story of the Biggie Smalls and Tupac Shakur murder investigations. And it says Greg Caden on there. And this was written and say, well, copyright 2011. So it definitely been out for a minute. If you listen to the audio, he'll say chapter 20 is the study box chapter. And that's where I was at just a minute ago. Oh, I passed it. All right, boom. Chapter 20, study box, right? And again, this is not the actual verse, so I'm not going to go into it all the way because some of the words may not be in there that's in the book. Definitely go check it out. But nevertheless, it gave me enough that I need to go off of. Okay, so it does specify that this person's study box was indeed an informant with the FBI, and the FBI agent brought him to Keating and his partner to say, yo, he may be helpful in your investigation into the Main Street Crooks. He informed us and said Ross had been helpful providing inside information. Okay, now this is in the book. Okay, and this detective has interviews everywhere with Vlad, everywhere. I mean, you can kind of pick and kind of go listen to what he's talking about. He's kind of consistent, nevertheless, in what he's been saying. And then it goes into not only talk about him being an informant, it goes into talking about Wack100, and it says right here in this chapter right here. Well, let me start right here. It says Robert Stutterbox Ross, Suge Knight, Cash Jones. Stutterbox will later be implicated in a alleged extortion attempt against basketball player Shaquille O'Neal. Okay, keep that in mind also. Then it says, one time for Coma Pyru, Stutterbox continued. Cash Jones was Suge's primary carrier, running dope on a route up and down the West Coast from Washington State to National City, just below San Diego near the Mexican border. Jones, an operator owner at a trucking firm, had a rig specially built to transport high-end autos, an echo of Kevin Davis' operation to run dope from California to Virginia using his auto restoration business. When we asked Ross how he was producing his information, he told us that he and Jones were old friends. The two, in fact, had met with Suge in Las Vegas in the company of the alleged Mexican dealer. Whoever this is, like, I don't even know what you on. Like, I can't even get to what I'm talking about. Yo, I've said it before. Like, speak to the topic. I don't like, that'd be irritating. Anyway, it goes on to say how they put the GPS tracker on Jones's truck, how they tapped his phone. And here we go. Look at this part here. It said, although Cash Jones had a relatively slim rap sheet, a few juvenile offenses were all we could find. He had indeed been associated with the Pacoma Pyru, but more than any single corroborating detail, the overriding fact was that Stutterbox was an FBI source. If he was good enough for them, we had more than enough reason to give him the benefit of the doubt. All right. So, like I said, I'm not going to spend too much time on that. But that is where definitely the detective writes about Cash Jones, aka Wack100, in the actual book. Again, the title is what I just said, and it was mentioned in that video clip. But yeah, the title is Murder: The Untold Story of Biggie Smalls and Tupac Shakur Murder Investigations. Now, I will say in this book also, they allege that this Stutterbox possibly was like linked to Biggie Smalls murder. I'm not getting into all that, but that's something definitely interesting to read into it. Now, since we got that information, what I did then was went and looked up this guy, Robert Ross, to see what I can find as far as like cases. What I had to do was definitely put in Shaquille O'Neal because that's what it popped up to me. So it took me up over here and it says, and this is the CBS News, right? And it goes in detail where TMZ reported this back in 2011. in regards to, it says Shaq is in the middle of a robbery, sex tape, and kidnapping situation. Law enforcement sources tell TMZ Liddell Rose, a member of the Main Street Mafia Crip gang in LA, who is friends with Shaq, along with 6 other members, went on a search and destroy mission in LA. On February 11, 2008, they believed a man named Robert Ross had a sex tape, and they tried to get it back with the help of a gun or two. Okay, so y'all can definitely Google it, go read it in its entirety. But that's really what I needed to kind of get the date and everything with the incident. So what I did from there, one thing about California is if you know the actual number for the charge or whatnot, you can just type it in. But if you don't know the case number, you have to pay $1 per search. Okay, so I already done that, and I'm just gonna get to. I'm just gonna type it in. But yeah, I had to do that first because I didn't know the case number. All right. So if you look on here, boom, this brings up a case with 7 individuals on it, including Liddell Rose. I'm not Rouse. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it. Who is AKA allegedly Dale Dog. Okay, who is listed in that transcript or whatever that they are passing around. Okay, so if we click on that, it'll take us to this page where it says the actual incident February 11, 2008. So that's how I knew I had the right one. But however, it wasn't filed to February 9, 2011. It was dismissed or not prosecuted. It'll show you the events. All that. It'll show bail, sentencing, and that's all it provides. So I'm like, I need more because how am I supposed to know, right? So what I did, right? I'm like, okay, dude got something going on with Shaquille O'Neal. Let's see. So when I typed in Shaquille O'Neal's name, did a search, a closed non-prosecuted account came up. But I'm like, it can't be because they got a civil case, right? So then I went back and was like, okay, let me check the civil case. It led me to Pacer. Okay, yes, the federal system. So once I got the Pacer, hold on, I'm bringing up Pacer. I had to log in. All right, boom. So as y'all can see here, I already clicked on it because it's purple. Robert Ross versus Shaquille O'Neal. Now, once I got to that screen, and like I said, I already done it, I'm just going through the process. Boom. So one of the first documents that I went into is document number 1. All right, which is the actual complaint. Now, this is civil. This is not a criminal document that we're looking at. Like I said, I could not find the actual documents from the state case. So I went here first, and then I'm telling you how I kind of tied it in later. But I went here first because it gives a breakdown of what's going on. I'm gonna skip all that and get to what we need to look at. All right. So this is what the plaintiff, which is Robert Rose, is alleging, right? And it says here again that date stuck out, so I knew I was on the right track. It says on or about February 11, 2008, in the county of Los Angeles, defendant O'Neal and Stevens acted through their agents Liddell Rose, aka Dog, and other members of a Los Angeles street gang, Main Street Mafia Crips. And then it says it's going to be referred to as the street gang from here on out. That's why it's in parentheses. Kidnapped plaintiff, committed assault and battery on plaintiff, converted the personal property of plaintiff, and intentionally caused plaintiff to suffer emotional distress. One thing I want to point out is, do y'all see that Liddell roles is being referred to as dog. Okay, remember the nickname is Del Dog, but they're referring to him as dog. If we go back to the document, he's being referred to as Del. Now, it may not mean nothing, but it stood out to me that they're not using the same name. Normally it'd be consistent, but nevertheless, let's get back to that document. All right, so it says that then if we go down a little further, it brings in O'Neal and Stevens. So O'Neal is Shaquille O'Neal, the basketball player, yes. Stevens is Mark Stevens, who is the business partner to Shaquille O'Neal. And it says that they aspired with the street gang, which remember at the top it said the street gang is referring to Main Street Mafia Crips, okay? So we keep going down, bam. It talks about the relationship. So it says for many years, prior to February 11th, 2008, Plaintiff was a close personal friend and confidant of defendant O'Neal. Basically, that he knew everything about him, that he was a felon, all that. So it does, and that he was a gang member at one point with mainstream mafia crips, but hadn't been for about 12 years from this state. So then it says here that O'Neal's relationship with Dog is expressed in a rap video by O'Neal, DJ, K Slay, Papoose, and Bun B. So when I saw K Slay name, I was like, okay, so maybe that's how it's about to tie in, right? So if we go down some more to the next one, it basically states that Stutterbox said that Shaquille O'Neal had him like commit murders, breaking NBA players, shooting an arm, all types of stuff. I'm not getting into all that because it really had nothing to do with the story, but it's in the document, right? So then it goes on to say the business dealing. So it says that O'Neal and Stevens represented the plaintiff, which is Stutterbox, right? And that he was supposed to be going to generate singers and musicians and artists for Deja 34, which is a record company owned by O'Neal and Stevens. Now, this is another thing that stood out to me as far as the relations to Wack100 is because it says plaintiff brought Ray J, a prominent singer, to defendants who signed Ray J to a contract and therefore generated profits from his work. Defendants, however, failed and refused to pay plaintiff his rightful share of all profits generated by the works of Ray J. So you already see it's a money situation here. Now, it did go on to say that once he realized he wasn't getting the money he felt like he deserved, he told Shaq, right, O'Neal, that he had a sex tape from when he brought a chick over to his house while he was still married. So that's supposed to be like the cause of why, you know what I'm saying, he got kidnapped, allegedly, right? So then it goes on to say that this guy Stutterbox had an affair with Shaq's then wife, Shawnee O'Neal. So they added that in there. Now, this is where number 15 is where it's like, okay, because I'm still waiting for the actual what's going on, right? So it says because of the fear that the sex video might become public, and because of defendants O'Neal raging jealousy towards plaintiff, defendants O'Neal and Stevens directed and employed members of the street gang to kidnap, attack, rob, and threaten plaintiff. On February 11, 2008, Dog and members of the street gang carried out the orders of the defendants and kidnapped plaintiff from Sunset Boulevard, Hollywood, and forcibly drove him to Dog's residence in South Central Los Angeles, where they assaulted, robbed, and threatened plaintiff at gunpoint. At the beginning of the kidnapping, James Herbin Wood, in parentheses, right, told plaintiff that Big Homie, Dog in parentheses, needed to straighten out problems between O'Neal Stevens, which is O'Neal's business manager, and plaintiff. During the kidnapping, Dog told plaintiff that O'Neal and Stevens want the tape of O'Neal having sex at plaintiff's home, delivered by plaintiff to Dog. When plaintiff promised to get the tape, he was released. During the kidnapping, kidnapping and robbery, Stevens communicated by phone with one of the members of the street gang and emphasized that O'Neal needed to obtain a sex tape from plaintiff. Unbeknownst to Stevens, this conversation was tape recorded pursuant to a FBI wiretap on the cell phone of the member of the street gang. Now, this is where I'm kind of lost, right? And y'all, again, maybe the guy that was in my comments talking about J Diggs, when we're not talking about J Diggs, might have this answer. So if in this document it says the street gang in the paperwork is referring to Main Street Mafia Crips, how does a Bacoma Pyru get included in it? Like, I'm still not seeing why Wack100 is involved in this case, because I don't see it yet. Now I definitely see, like I said, I see the case late name, see Ray J. But as far as like the gang ties, I don't see the gang ties to it, because they literally said the street gang is referring to Main Street Mafia Crips. But like I said, maybe I'm missing something. And again, y'all, case number right there, the document I'm looking at when it was filed. This is how, if you want to show paperwork, show the important pieces. So again, all this paperwork is public. You go pull it, research, whatever. It's there. Okay. Now, let's see here. The next part, it does say that on February 12, 2008, a mutual friend of plaintiff and defendants called plaintiff and asked them about the kidnapping, assault, and robbery. When asked by plaintiff how he knew about the incident, well, that's definitely a guy, right? The friend, you saw me in the Matrix. Hold on. Hold on, I'm gonna have to get on my phone. Give me a second. Is that hands up that you can hear me, or hands up that still sound distorted? Hold on, y'all. I got to log in on my other phone. This on the charger. That could be why it sounds like that. I don't know. Got to go through 100 steps to get on. Give me a second, y'all. Make sure y'all liking and sharing it. Okay, give me a second. I'm about to log on my other phone. As soon as it sends me a color. All right, y'all, hold on. We're gonna have to take a pause real quick so I can get my sound together. Let's see if that works. This took me since last time I've been looking at this thing. All right, hold on. Got it. All right, I'm about to be out of here for 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, can y'all hear me? Am I good? Probably when I put my phone on the charger, that's when it started acting crazy. Because I had just put it on there. Give me a thumbs up so we can keep on going. Well, I'm looking at chat. Y'all just let me know. I'm going to keep going. All right. Where was I? Oh, yeah. When asked by plaintiff how he knew about the incident, the friend stated Stevens had called him and told him to tell plaintiff that all that had happened the night before was because of plaintiff's affair with Shawnee, but that dog was only told to get the sex tape from plaintiff. Now, okay, cool. Now, like I said, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. If we want to tie in Wack100 so far, I mean, I would probably have tied him right here with the communication part the next day. You know what I'm saying? Um, because it does say it's a he, but it's not saying nothing about it being done on a wiretap. It's stating that it was done just, the plaintiff is stating this conversation. So again, that's just my theory of it so far, just based off of him not being part of the Main Street Mafia Crips, right? Because every time you see the gang, the street gang, that's what that's supposed to mean. So that's kind of weird, but maybe we'll find something somewhere else. Let's see here. So that's going into details about, what they got going on. So then it goes into the agreement that it started back in 2007 about bringing singers and stuff forward and being paid for it. It goes into more detail about Ray J. And let me see. That's about it that we need off of that one. All right. So now I'm like, all right, what's really going on? Like, how, why does all this matter? Right. So I just went and I Googled it and just saw what like the news was saying about it. Now, again, this happened in 2008. I have no idea why it took to 2011 to file it. Okay. I have a theory, but at the same time, I can't say without like with certainty that's what it is. I just have my own opinion of it. But we're gonna continue. I'll tell it at the end. So, boo, 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 boo. This one is basically saying the same thing. It mentions Rose. I don't know, is it Rose? I'm just gonna call him Del Dog because that was his nickname. It's being said that it's listed as the leader of Main Street Mafia Crips gang. Okay, and it says this from the prosecutors. Boom. Then it says Robert Ross is the victim in it, and it goes into that details, right? Then it says Dale Dog and 6 co-defendants, which we just pulled up. The case with 7 people on it. Now here it goes. It says Ross testified in court he was former member of Main Street Gang who later became a music promoter. He said he became friends with O'Neal and tried to bring musical acts to the NBA Stars record label, prosecutor said. Now, it does say, right, that it's supposed to be a transcript to this preliminary hearing. I have not found it publicly online. I definitely put a request in because I also found in another article. Let me see if I can. Do I still got to put up? Where they actually say it was recorded too, so it should be audio of it and a transcript of it. So this is another page. I think we was on this earlier, but basically it says the same thing. So this is a real incident. It's not like fake or nothing. It's really an incident. Now, again, the documents. Okay, so if we go back to the documents. This is the only page that it has, right? That's it. Just this part. I think it's weird because, like I said, I always tell y'all if you're gonna drop paperwork, drop it. Now bits and pieces of it. Now I do know. On Lil Kel's video, he said that he will provide the case number so we can look it up. I put in his comments what it is, but he hasn't gotten back to me yet. Well, let me make sure he ain't got back to me. Let me see. So, like I said, anytime I reference some of my work, y'all see, I always like it and comment. So, y'all see me right here. I asked what's the case number. I haven't got. That was 4 hours ago. I haven't got anything back yet. So, I don't know. Did he put it in here yet? Maybe somebody else asked. No. All right. So yeah, he doesn't have it listed. So well, let me check here. No. Oh, okay. Okay, starting to make sense. Okay. All right. Nevertheless, so if we go back, like I said, go back to the paperwork. I mean, again, if this is what I think it is, right? If this is really a summary of wiretap, where's the rest of it? And how did this, like, how did you get it, right? Because this is definitely not something you would get on Pacer for sure. Like, you definitely, what it do, Spike? So I'm breaking down. A lot of people's hitting me up about the allegations that were made on Clubhouse by Bricc Baby with Wack100, and I'm reacting to Lil Kel's Truth Movement video because he said a lot of stuff in that video. Again, I didn't play the whole video because he went kind of conspiracy on me. However, I did pull the paperwork. Well, found the paperwork he was referring to. And like I said, this is definitely not a federal transcript to no court. I tell you that right now. Definitely not it. But it does sound like this could be a phone call, right? Now, my thing is, okay, let's just give a benefit of the doubt, right? Let's say this is an actual transcript. Why would back? So it says back. Why would that automatically make you think of whack? I know they rhyme, but how? I mean, looking at it, I wouldn't have thought first and foremost that's who it was, but I might be tripping, right? Then it says something about Whack Boy. Where is it? Right here. So down there it says, I ain't helping the Whack Boy in a minute. Let me read this more clear. I mean, that's good information. See, now I know how to, like I said, I ain't, is that, and that's supposed to be the business manager talking. I ain't helping the Whack Boy in a minute. You know what I say? He called me out the blue yesterday. Not yesterday, yeah, last night. Left me 2 messages in this morning. And I just need to know how to play it cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Let me see. So, and then DD is supposed to be Dale Dog. And above it say, then thought when you call the dude, you make the dude talk about certain stuff on the horn. You know, you know what they got going on. I ain't got time for this dude. UI. Mm. Uh, I mean, y'all can see what I see, right? Y'all let me know because I don't want you So Philly said it's a tap conversation. So even if it is, what I need to know, or what from a research standpoint, for one, I need to know how you got it, and not you, but whoever dropped it, how they got it. For two, where's the rest of it? Because it's supposed to be a 7-minute conversation. This is not a 7-minute conversation at all. Not a 7-minute conversation. Now, don't get me wrong. Back does rhyme with whack, right? Whack boy, I guess if you read it that way. And like I said, reading that chapter in that book from the investigator and listening to the clubhouse room, Wack was the center of an investigation of surrounding Suge Knight. So, right? But see, my thing is, how does that get tied into this, right? Because according to what they were saying on the video, this is supposed to be the wiretap that they referenced in the documents. And like I said, we pulled up the Fed paperwork who said the wiretap in that case was from a member of the mainstream mafia Crips, the street gang that they're referencing. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm confused to how it ties into this case. Now, like I said, because in that audio, they do stamp that Wack100 phone was tapped around that time dealing with Suge Knight, right? They say that in the audio, right? In the audio with Bricc Baby, right? Bricc Baby throughout the names Del Dog and the mainstream mafia Crips as to being who was snitched on. So that's I'm like, well, how do these two things coincide with it? You know what I'm saying? Somebody said do an interview with Stutterbox and let him tell. Well, give me look. I don't even know who he is. I just found the name in the audio, but definitely, I don't know if he would want to talk though, cause y'all know. I mean, if we gonna talk, we gonna have to talk about the whole thing, cause it does reference that he did some telling. So I mean, I'm up for it though, But you know how some people is, they don't be wanting to tell the whole story. But hey, I don't know. Send my link to my page. Tell him check it out. He want to tap in, tap in. Now, another thing, right? This other page, like I said, it's kind of confusing because they're saying that CS2 is Wack100, right? And he's supposed to had limited information about violent assaults committed by MSMC. Again, we know this is a totally different document than what they got up there, right? Now, CS3, I wonder who CS3 is, because they definitely blacked that out on purpose, right? So it's kind of, I don't know. So Daryl says Stutterbox and Wack were telling on each other. I mean, but what was they telling? Philly, where did you hear that at? Philly said he told. Who is he? Hold on, I don't want to mix up your words if that's not what you were saying. What was they telling on though, Daryl? Now while I wait for y'all to respond, hold on. Because something interesting came up. So while I'm waiting, stutter. Oh yeah. Oh well, I never heard no interview or nothing. Now what I will say is, even if you look at this from what I'm seeing, is that Wack100 and Del Dog didn't have a relationship. But Daryl saying they were telling Del Dog. So, and let me just say, definitely rest in peace to Del Dog, because he actually passed away in 2015. He was killed actually. So definitely want to say that. Now, I will say it's news articles that's definitely linking him to Shaquille O'Neal, but it's like, I don't know. I don't know gang politics like that, but they were I just don't see how Bloods and Crips was that cool with each other to know each other's business, because it seemed like they would be on separate sides of the fence. Let me pull up the next one. So another thing that I found is that Stutterbox had a Fed case, right? That actually he got picked up in 2009 for the Fed case, and I thought it was interesting what the paperwork said about it. Give me a second. Is this it? I want the one that go in detail. Hold on, y'all. Let me find it. Is this it? I think this is it. Okay. All right. Let me turn my screen. All right. So again, case number up there at the top. Document is number 1, filed February 11th, 2009. So this was filed even before the criminal or the civil case against Shaquille O'Neal and the 7 alleged Main Street Mafia Crip members. Okay. So basically it's saying here on or about October 1st, 2008, which is what, about 8 months after the alleged kidnapping and robbery, that in Los Angeles County within Central District of California, defendant Robert Montero Ross, aka Stutterbox, knowingly and intentionally possessed with the intent to distribute more than 5 grams, that is approximately 19 grams, of mixture of substance containing a detectable amount of cocaine base. I think that's in the form of crack cocaine, a Schedule 2 narcotic drugs controlled substance, and 13 pills. Okay. And then it also says had a gun on them too. But let's get into it. Trying to skip down to the parts that was like, oh, maybe. Okay. It talks about it. Boom, boom, boom. Not that. That's not it. All right, here we go. Statement of probable cause. Okay, so if you look at number 4, it says on November 24th, 2008, I met with Detective Greg Kading. Y'all recall that name? That's the same detective that wrote the book about Tupac and Biggie, that mentioned Stutterbox, that mentioned Wack100, or Cash Jones is who he refers to in the book, right? That's on the Vlad interviews, that did the that spoke on Clubhouse. This is him that they're referring to. So Detective Kading is involved in a long-term investigation. One of the subjects of the long-term investigation is Ross. I know that Detective Kading has been clearly monitoring the activities of Ross for the previous 18 months and has interviewed Ross on several occasions. Detective Kading gave me a copy of an interview that he had with Ross on March 18, 2008. Now, this is my thing, right? But now that we know that's not a transcript, it doesn't matter anymore, right? Because if they're saying they interviewed him on March 18, 2008, I was kind of like, well, where the August date came from? Because that paperwork says August. Let's see. August. But it's still weird that they took that long to look at the wiretap, but we're not going to get too deep in that. But yeah, so that was kind of like, to me originally. But let's get back to it. So then it goes on. So 18 months. And then what I was tripping about, though, is the time frame, because 18 months was even before the incident, because this is February 11, 2009. Literally, the attack was February 11, 2008. So 6 months before the kidnapping, he was already being monitored. So how the world he get kidnapped by armed men if the police was watching him? I didn't even think about that. Now that's strange. But okay. So here it says this interview was voluntary in nature and was audio recorded. So March 18, 2008, that interview is recorded and allegedly, right? During the interview, Ross told the detectives that he kept a firearm inside his house, but acknowledged that he should not be telling the detectives of this fact. Ross is a felon. Detective Kading told me that he had written an affidavit in support of a warrant to search the residence of Ross. The search warrant was signed on October 2nd, 2008 by the Honorable Judge. I reviewed the search warrant affidavit written by Kading and police reports concerning Ross' October 1st, 2008 arrest. From my review of these documents, I learned the following. It says October 1st, 2008, LAPD patrol officers Campos, and Borkin. Y'all not slaughter names, whatever. Were contacted by LAPD narcotics detective Washington and informed that a narcotic suspect was last seen driving a black Lexus in the area of Arlington Avenue and Vernon Avenue in LA. Yeah. Said that the vehicle was being driven in an ironic manner, causing the officers to believe that the driver might be driving under influence. Okay, we got it. All right, so now they get Ross out the car. He did try to flee briefly on foot before surrendering. After his arrest, Ross was identified and officers learned that his driver's license has been suspended. Okay, we got it. Ross had 2,600 on them. All right, here we go. So then November 24th, 2008, Detective Caden told me the following. On October 2nd, 2008, shoot, my bad. It's there now. Okay, this just is about the October 5th situation. All right. So Detective Caden received a text message from Ross, which was labeled as being telephone number, blase blase, and a photograph of the text was taken. And basically it says here, this is what it says in the message, and this is Elf I'm reading. In the message, Ross asked Caden to tell Dupree that Ross was sorry for letting Dupree down. Detective Dupree had worked with Ross before, but stopped taking his phone calls sometime after Ross' October 1st, 2008 arrest. But he could work it off by arranging to set up a big bus involving 50 kilograms and as many additional buses as needed. Detective Caden took this as a tacit admission of Ross's crimes on October 1st, 2008, discussed above, and a promise that if they were ignored, Ross would help the detectives make bigger arrests. Okay. So, in my opinion, right, like I said, I was wondering why did the whole case come, 2 years later, 3 years later, with Shaquille O'Neal? Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I've been researching this all day, and I was just like, let me get it done so people can stop sending me the link. So I'm sorry, I'm tired. So I was wondering like why it took 3 years, and then to hear he got a case right the same year that it happened. He tried to work it off by setting up these busts or whatnot, but they didn't bite. Now, Caden, right, in an interview, I think it's an interview, or was it a magazine? I have to get back to said that it was a letter that Ross wrote at his sentencing hearing where he throws out Shaquille O'Neal's name and all that. So I definitely had to look for it, right? And it's definitely sealed. I was so mad about that. It's definitely sealed. I'm about to show y'all. Hold on. So, and look, y'all let me know. I don't see, and again, y'all, I'm not talking street politics, gang politics, none of that. I'm just talking about what we know off of what's being provided to from these sources about this situation, right? I don't see the connection per se with Wack100 being CS2. Cause for one, they ain't even released the whole, like, for one, if you're gonna point out somebody being a confidential informant, y'all gotta put out more documents than just a piece or what you want everybody to see. You gotta put out the whole thing. And that was one thing. Look at the Blue Da Vinci case with BMF. You had to put out everything. Look at Rollo case. You got to put out everything. Putting out pieces of this and pieces of that is not going to do no justice because it's still going to be like, it's unclear. So based off of the paperwork that I was able to find, right, and that, hold on, y'all, that I was able to find, right, based off the pieces of information that I was able to obtain through PACER documents and through, like I said, the detective that's listed on the PACER documents, from what he said in his book to what he said on interviews with Fled, what he said on the stage. I mean, at this point, like I said, that one paragraph about a male calling the next day after the whole kidnapping, okay, you get what I'm saying? Like, possibly. But outside of that, I don't see it. Hold on. I'm about to look at my screen just 1 second. It said Ray J didn't have any other managers. That's how you put Wack in it. But it doesn't say anything about a manager. Where do you get the manager from? Let me put that on the screen. It never mentioned Ray J manager. They mentioned that Stutterbox brought Ray J to Shaquille O'Neal and Stevens to sign him, but they don't mention they don't mention a manager unless I missed it. Where did they say the Ray J manager at? And then hold on, let me look at that paper. Cause even in the complaint, it don't even say nothing about hold up. Let me read it again and make sure I ain't tripping. Prior to February 11, 2008, defendants O'Neal and Stevens represented to plaintiff that if plaintiff would generate singers, musicians, and other artists for use by Deja 34, a record company owned by defendants O'Neal and Stevens, then plaintiff will receive one half of the profits earned by defendants from all such singers, musicians, and artists. In response to this representation, plaintiff brought Ray J, a prominent singer, to defendants who signed Ray J to a contract and therefore generated profits from his works. Defendants, however, failed and refused to pay plaintiff his rightful share of all profits generated by the works of Ray J. The refusal of defendants to pay plaintiff caused the termination of their friendship. I don't see where it said manager. Because what it sounded like to me, right, that Stutterbox was like a scout, found Ray J, brought Ray J, thought he was going to be included in the deal, and Shaquille O'Neal and Mark Stevens said, nope, you're not. That's what it sounded like to me. I mean, I don't even see. We can do a Google search real quick. And y'all let me know. Look, am I missing something? Because I don't see that part. And then, hold on, before I say that, let me fact check something real quick. I was about to say something. Y'all gonna be like, that ain't what it was. So let me see. Oh shoot. I'm on my phone. I can't even ask. I'm kinda looking for, does anybody know when hold on. What does this say? I might have to ask that. So what I was looking at and say, don't you know when the feds get you on wiretap, you all busted? How can you not do a day in jail? Okay, so all right. Maybe I'm missing something. Y'all tell me, but where does it say they got anything on wiretap as far as Wack100 though? Because from the detective mouth, they ain't getting nothing off the wiretaps or the tracking of his 18-wheeler. And that's where my thought process was going just now. I don't even think Wack would have been the manager of Ray J if I'm going off of what Philly was saying, because they literally said in the document, well, in the book, right, from the detective, was that they was looking into the connection with Wack100 and Suge Knight, right, and that he was a trucker. He wouldn't have been a manager. That means he wasn't a manager yet. But and then to answer your question too, on Daryl, the wiretap that they're listed per the actual documents, it said was a member of the Crips, not a Pyru blood that was on the wiretap where they got it from. And this is the main reason why releasing pieces of a document, especially when you're saying it's a paperwork party or you're trying to expose somebody, you got to have the whole thing where it's without a doubt, bam, bam, bam. You know what I'm saying? Like without a doubt, it's like no matter where you from or how you reference something, if all the paperwork is there and it's clear, it's look, you prove your point. Give me a second. I'm still trying to look for that answer because I kind of was wondering. Yeah, he couldn't have been his manager then anyway, because they were saying they was looking at him for his trucking. So yeah, I don't think that's the angle on Philly because he wouldn't have been his manager at that point anyway. And matter of fact, I have to look back because I forgot I did do an interview with Wack and we talked about that. I can't remember what year he said he started doing managing though. But in regards to this wiretap, they said the wiretap was for his trucking when he was a truck driver. Said remember his home and everything was bugged and being tapped. So according to the detective, they had a tracking on his truck. They had his phone tapped, and then they actually did a search warrant of his house. I've never heard that his house was bugged. So I don't know about that one. I don't know about the house being bugged. Well, everything being bugged. He does reference that in the book though that the truck was a track was on the truck to the point that they said that Wack100 thought it was a bomb. Why he thought it was a bomb, I don't know, but hold on. I'm looking for. Here we go. So if we start here, so accordingly, we put a GPS tracker on Jones' truck, enabling us to track where he was and where he was going at any given time. But he discovered the unit after an impromptu brake inspection at a highway rest stop. So Daryl said so they didn't find 6 guns in his house. In who house? In Wack100 house. In Wack's house, they found an old gun, right? When they did the search warrant into Stutterbox, they found, and I can bring that up, hold up. And see, it might be a case of mixing up the two cases type thing. But hold on, I'll tell you in just a minute. I gotta go back. No, I don't see nothing about no 6 guns even on his. Cause it say here that they only found one 38 caliber revolver with serial number. For the master bedroom, it was loaded. Yeah, only one. Where and see that's another thing. Where are you getting that from? That info from? Because maybe we can pull it. Like, where is that from? Talking about 6 guns. See, that would be helpful. And see, and I never seen you over here before, but welcome in. But like what we do over here, if you got some info and you know where we can find it, just drop the link so we can find it. That'll be helpful, you know. Say him and Blue have to get their paperwork, and that's one too many. Well, look, I'm not even gonna start that conversation, but I had a 7.5 hour live about Blue Da Vinci. I ain't trying to go down that rabbit hole again, but it's still on my page though. 7.5 hour live for sure. Is Wack a felon or state? Wack doesn't have any felonies. He does, and I did his paperwork too already. Who is it? What's up, Nick? Good story. um, he doesn't have any felonies. His charges he had was when he was like 17. Um, that's when he did the 7 years prison, but no felonies as an adult. From when I pulled the paperwork. Now again, me saying that, when you pull somebody's paperwork, you pulling them as a defendant. That's all I'm saying. This particular case here is not him as a defendant. They're saying that he's an informant. But based off the case that they provided, I mean, so far I'm not seeing that smoking gun yet. It sounds like maybe some info got mixed up. But as far as the uh Main Street Mafia Crips and this Shaquille O'Neal situation, it sounds like Main Street Mafia Crips told on themselves as far as like with Stutterbox being a former member. It says in the document that he gave statements. And whoever the person was whose phone was tapped in this particular case is how they got the audio from what they were saying. Now, nobody has gotten charged criminally. Well, they got charged, but they got it thrown out. And the reason why they threw out the case against the 7 guys for the kidnapping stuff, Stutterbox statements was inconsistent. And you ain't even got to buy the paperwork for that. You can just look on the news. TMZ, they reported on it too. Anybody else got another angle y'all want to look at in regards to this before I just say what I say about it? Cause look, I'm trying to talk it out with y'all so y'all don't be like, "Oh, Mickey, you being biased." Cause I think so far I done shown I ain't biased. I look at it all the time. So Bricc Baby says, "What about CS2 paperwork?" Well, the paperwork that they got out ain't no paperwork unless somebody know, like I said, where I can find it. So this is what link I was given, right? And this is just one page and of a 7-minute. If this is the wiretap of a 7-minute phone call, one page, that's not 7 minutes. Ain't no way. Then it goes in, that's the same page right there. Then switch to Wack in the same convo. But that's the thing. That's what I was talking about earlier, right? It says I talked to Back. Now, mind you, even if you're not familiar with how wiretaps or those work, even if I'm gonna give you one because BMF wiretaps are public. So if you listen to them, it's literally somebody sitting there, just like if y'all was sitting down writing everything I say, right? So that don't stand out to me to mean nothing. Just Back and then Wet Boy, like, it ain't jumping out to me to be like, oh yeah, they talking about Wack100, you know. Philly said that's somebody. Okay, do that, Bricc Baby. Philly said that's someone motion. Who motion? And see, that's what I'm saying. Like with y'all, with paperwork, I've said it, like I said, not even just in a case associated with Wack. I say it all the time. I literally just said it about, dang, what case were we working the other night? I don't even remember. Oh, QCP. Like, if you gonna drop paperwork, drop all of it. And if you don't drop all of it, at least drop the case number or whatnot so it can be looked up. Cause motion where? Like, what case is it? That's what I'm saying. Cause obviously this can't be the case with the Shaquille O'Neal and the whole kidnapping of Stutterbox. This can't be what this about. Can't be. Because we literally put up the Fed civil case. Now, if y'all not familiar with how civil and criminal work, if you file a criminal case and it don't go nowhere, basically the civil case is identical, minus you ain't getting no charges. It's about winning like monetary gain. Matter of fact, prime example, one that we went over the one with Y&W Melly. He got a criminal and a civil. The info we got off the civil helped us along with the criminal when we was looking into that case. So like, you know what I'm saying? They coexist. Okay, send it to me. Yeah, because look, like I said, in this particular this situation, right? And I'm only going, y'all know, I'm reacting off of Lil Kel's Truth Movement. Shout out to him. Like I said, y'all make sure y'all go follow his page. I wasn't on Clubhouse when this conversation went about, so I don't know the full conversation. I'm going off of what was there. Okay, I got you. You follow me? What is your name that on Instagram? But yeah, y'all. So like I just don't see it in this because again, it would have something more would have stood out. That's why I was like, dang, is it like a Suge Knight aspect we missing? And I know that's gonna be a rabbit hole if it is, but this particular case can't be it. You know what I'm saying? It just can't be it. It's not, like I done pulled the whole Fed thing. Okay, I see it. So all I'm gonna say, like, again, y'all, and I say this because I don't be wanting nobody to get misconstrued. I don't look at these things from a street level or from a game politics because I don't know nothing about it. I don't know none of these people involved in it. You get what I'm saying? Well, besides Wack, but nevertheless, I don't know nothing about this story, right? This was hell. Death Row was around. I think I was a little kid. You know what I'm saying? I don't know nothing about it. I'm just going off of what was presented and, you know, went and did some research. I just can't find it, not with this one. Now, but look, like I said, y'all continue to send me what you got and we'll look into it because, you know, y'all be coming for my neck talking about I'll be biased. I'm like, I ain't biased. But yeah. So that's what I got on this one for now. Like I said, I don't see no connection with this the Shaquille O'Neal and the 7 Main Street Mafia members for now. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see it. Not based off these couple sheets of paper that they got. And then like you can tell this is something different. So that's why I'm like, maybe it's another case because this and that don't even look like. And then you see it got a page number. That don't have no page number. So, and then, like I said, anytime I see stuff like that, how you get it? Because like every now and then, like I think who was that was talking? I think that was Philly. Um, that said it could be part of the motion. That's possible, but where the rest of the motion? What happened with the brother case? Who is the brother? Let me so I can put y'all comments up there. Hold on. Who brother case? Look, y'all got to fill me in. I don't be knowing half of what this look. Half of what it is. Tello says someone gave you a dummy grenade to throw and you thought it was real. Look. Hey, y'all, I mean, when I say I think I started like 2 a.m. yesterday, right? And I've been beating down the freaking internet trying to really do this. Like, for real. I've been really paying attention. And then what was so crazy because someone sent it to me, and I was like, I don't even know who to like, because I don't really like messing with California because it be hard getting their documents sometimes. Like they don't. But then when Lil Kel was like fed transcript, I said, huh? That's when I was like, oh yeah, let me check this out. Oh, I know. when he got, hold on. When he got locked up with his brother, that's the case they talking about when his brother died. We're talking about many he's. Are you referring to Wack? Is that who you talking about? But on that audio, and see, that's another thing, y'all. Hey, because y'all be running me thin. Now, on the audio, it says a whole different case. Philly said that's not the case. It's this case. Y'all gotta be narrowing down, be knowing what case we talking about. Cause I spent 12 hours on this, okay? 12 hours. And y'all about to tell me this ain't even the case. Well, if that is, like I said, send me what you got. I'll take a look at it. But for right now, like I did the research on that and those documents. It would be easier. Just get a case number. Like, for real. Get a case number. That's why I don't be understanding why people blur out the case number. Like, for one, if you leave out the case number in a document, I'm automatically gonna think you done did something to it. Cause why you won't put the case number? That's why I always, even if I don't show, cause y'all know I try not to show victims and names and all family members' names. And I will literally give you the case number, even if I don't show the full document. Cause you can go pull it because it's public, you know? But for this particular part, like I said, I'm just gonna say I really don't see no connection with Wack with this case. I know a couple of y'all said it's some other cases, you know, so y'all send them to me. We see what it is. Yeah, like I ain't knew nothing about none of it. I just learned about it, and I was like, well, dang. Now, is Bricc Baby still here? Come I say Bricc Baby. I did hear a part on there now. You talking about you put it on your hood. I was like, oh my gosh. Were you referring to this case though? I just realized you are the one in the audio. I don't know. He might not still be in here. I'll ask him, but yeah. So I'm gonna figure out that part for now with this particular case. Mind you, y'all, this particular case, okay. Cash Jones is not listed in any of the paperwork. Even Wack100 or Wack ain't listed in the paperwork. We can't even confirm where the documents came from, for one. And y'all know how I'm big on, I need to be able to confirm it. I can't find those documents. I showed y'all the documents I did find. I gave y'all the book to the investigator, detective who we see on the documents, who said that basically Stutterbox provided Wack100's name to link into some Suge Knight stuff. Whatever the issue with Suge Knight and Stutterbox, I don't know. But obviously they must have an issue or whatever. And per the paperwork, Stutterbox was communicating with these detectives, LA detective, mind you, Kading or however you pronounce it. He's not even a Fed. He was an LAPD detective. So he was in communication 6 months prior to even being kidnapped. That's suspicious for sure. Can you pull, when did he get locked up with his brother? Tell me, because I pulled his paperwork. So I mean, if you tell me when did this happen, I can probably know if I pulled it already. I don't even know what his brother's name is. I remember he told me his brother passed away in our interview though. Yeah, Philly, you gonna have to follow me on Instagram and just send me what you talking about. Because look, I charge a fee to go searching, but if you kind of narrow it down, I'll use it for content because I'm pretty sure people gonna be on it. Like I said, if it's there, I definitely can find it if it's public. Okay, if it's public, let me put that out there because sometimes y'all be acting like I'm a hacker. I don't be hacking it; it's be public. But we can do that. Just let me know. Follow me on Instagram, Mickey Truth 2022. All right, send it to me. Well, send me what you got. Yeah, it's 2:00 in the morning my time. Before I get off of here, I just want to shout out to everybody. Listen, it's been when I first started YouTube, a lot of people was like, ain't nobody gonna really rock with it because y'all know I get long-winded. I'm very detailed. You know, everybody was like, oh, ain't nobody gonna care. But y'all been showing out. The past week, I think hold on, I'm trying to pull up my stats real quick because I just want to shout y'all out, everybody that been rocking out with me for sure. Because I've gained like 1,400 subscribers in like the past. No, I'm lying. 1,000. It's been 1,000 subscribers I've gotten in the past 7 days, and I'm like, whoa, okay, you know. So I appreciate y'all for real. I just be over here doing my own little thing, my own little way. Over 300,000 views. I appreciate that. Y'all know I'm not a numbers person when it comes to YouTube. I actually do it because I enjoy it. And like I said, the day that I got the, change up, it'll be the day I'll leave YouTube alone. So for now, I'm here to stay, man. I appreciate y'all. I know I was late. I wanted to go ahead and get this content out because I ain't want nobody to think I was out here ducking the fade. But I wanted to get it out, man. I'm not chopping this live down, so if you missed it, you're gonna have to just listen to the whole thing or skip through it to the part because I am not chopping it down. Okay. What it do? What is that? One of the Moans TV. Moans? That's cool. 804. Where's 804 at? 804. Why that sound familiar? Where is that at? 804. But yeah, I saw a lot of new people in the chat. Y'all keep pulling up. I be random. I never plan my lives, and when I do, I never make it. So I just randomly get on live. But y'all, that's what I got, man. Hold on. That said Wack, and he wasn't going bad by Wack100 until the internet. What said Wack? If you talking about that document says Wack boy. That's what it said. It said Wack boy. If that's what you talking about, the document we just looking at. If that's what you're talking about, I mean, say Wack boy. That's like saying every time you see Mickey Mouse, it's Mickey Truth. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not enough to go off of. Especially not to put no jacket on nobody. Y'all know, look, if the jacket is warranted, then that's one thing, but we can't just be reaching. Like, if y'all remember when I first started, or even if y'all wasn't familiar with me, when it was like the whole illusion with the video with Takeoff and Quavo, like, it'd be crazy. But yeah, we can't just pull it out there now. Nevertheless, if you find something that's more concrete, send it to me on Instagram, Mickey Truth 2022. Matter of fact, follow me on everything. It's Mickey Truth. If it's not Mickey Truth 2022, because I've been trying to take the 2022 off, it could be just Mickey Truth. But, follow me, tap in. That came from Wack talking to what came from, y'all got, look, we done had 5 different sidebars. Philly said that came from him talking to the feds. Wack said that. What came from him talking to the feds? I almost got a delay because I'm getting y'all stuff late because I don't even know what we talking about now. That came from him talking to the feds. Wack said. What came from? Not that paperwork, because Wack called Cap on that paperwork 8 months ago in that room with that detective. I heard that part. Is he a snitch? Who? Y'all know we done talked about 5 different he's. Yeah, I think I got a delay because I'm seeing this stuff late. Well, nevertheless, like as of right now, what I have, I can say the only person I can definitely say was cooperating off of those documents, and the case that it led me to look at is the Stutterbox guy. How many Wacks were involved in? Involved in what? Like it don't say Wack. Like outside of okay. So let me ask y'all this: have y'all not ever heard somebody say Wack, like, and not be talking about Wack100? Y'all, have y'all ever heard the word Wack? So like at this point, it really wasn't like Wack100 or Wack was not known mainstream. So you know what I'm saying? Where he said that at? Please send me the link to that. Oh, let me put this on the screen. Philly says Wack said he was talking to the Fed outside and set up the gang members. And where was this said at? Text me. I'm waiting for Philly to answer. Because I sure ain't heard that. Where that? Send me that link. Okay. Right. Yeah. Yo, y'all send me links to my inbox on Instagram. I got to work in the morning on top of being on the morning show. And I'm already my eyes red. We'll tap back in. Like I said, y'all send me what y'all got. We can do another live. Um and talk about it. Like I said, we can get into it. But y'all don't have to send me some links because I don't know what y'all talking about right now. But I hope everybody have a good night, man. Like I said, this is what I got for now. Y'all send me what y'all got and we can talk about it. Good night. Philly, just send me what you got because you saying statements, but like I'm asking where, like send me the link to where you heard him say that. You know what I'm saying? Like send me that. Good night, Spike. Good night, everybody. Good night, Philly, man. We'll chop it up. I need to get some rest. Y'all need to get some rest. And we'll reconvene. So for now, we'll put a pin in it. Deuces.